This nearly abandoned town is at the center of one of the biggest political battles of 2024. That battle around U.S. Steel could determine who wins the White House.
Hey, who y'all voting for in 24?
Trump.
You're gonna vote for?
Neither one. At the end of the day, did Biden help you? Trump help you?
You know, it's kind of funny to think of what's behind us as a version of Silicon Valley in the 1870s, but that's exactly what it was. Between 1870 and 1910, Pittsburgh created some of the biggest companies in the country, from Alcoa to U.S. Steel, and it all happened in a short period of time.
The story of Braddock begins in 1872 when Andrew Carnegie went to Europe to learn about the Bessemer process, a new way to affordably mass-produce steel. He returned to Pennsylvania and in 1875 opened his own Bessemer process steel plant in Braddock, 7 miles down the Monongahela River from downtown Pittsburgh. As the plant grew, so did Braddock and Carnegie's investment. Carnegie opened the first of his 1,700 public libraries in Braddock, in addition to public baths, an indoor basketball court, and a 964-seat music hall. A boomtown for workers, immigrants flocked to Braddock from around the world. The city's population grew from 1,300 to 21,000 between 1870 and 1920. Then, everything went bust.
Last 5 churches we've seen in this town have all been closed.
Today, Braddock's population is back where it was around 1871 before the steel plant opened, 1,721 people. But the steel plant that opened in 1875 is still going as part of U.S. Steel. We went to see what that was like.
What does the air smell like?
You know, it smells like right after you let off like a firecracker. It's like a kind of like soot, like a furnace in the air. The other thing is the sound. I mean, you hear it. If you just listen, you can hear it. And you could hear this up above town. You could hear this on the other side of town. The whole town smells and sounds like a steel mill. And you see it, it's in the signs. The signs show Braddock surrounded by the steel mill. You have this over here. It shows the steel workers. I mean, this is what the city is. This is why the city exists. You can see the size of this facility. It's huge. It stretches from all the way down there, all the way through here, and all the way to out here. And now this right here tells the story of a mythical steel worker who could bend the steel with his hands, stick his hands in the vats of boiling whatever. But when you look at this, now this whole facility, Pittsburgh used to be made of places like this. And now there's not that many left. Someone we spoke to, she said her window faced this mill and she couldn't open it because it just turned black from all the soot and stuff that was coming out of this. You feel it in the air as soon as you get out of the car. It smells like a fire.
It's unbelievable. Also, gotta love the only pickup trucks over here for the workers.
U.S. Steel was the world's first billion-dollar company and the world leader in steel production. Today, it's a shell of itself. Exactly why is up for debate, but at the core were poor management and investments by the company and expensive labor contracts with the union. That made American steel too expensive. At the same time, it faced competition from Japanese, German, and later Chinese steel. Unable to compete, the American steel industry, led by U.S. Steel, cratered. The result is Braddock's current plight, a semi-ghost town. Braddock's decline was about more than steel, though. Now a majority black city, it was ravaged by the crack epidemic of the 1980s, crime, a financial crisis, and white flight. It was here that now Senator John Fetterman started his political career. A Harvard graduate from a prosperous family, in 2004 he moved in across the street from the steel mill. It turned out Senator Fetterman, who is the mayor here in Braddock, he still lives here, he still has a place here.
And we believe it's this one, right above this restaurant that opened up, the brew pub and restaurant.
2 years later, he became mayor and held that position until 2019. In 2022, he was elected one of Pennsylvania's 2 U.S. senators. Locals spoke highly of Fetterman and said he made many efforts to improve the city, including bringing in its first restaurant.
What do you think of John Fetterman?
I like him.
Why do you like him?
Because he does a lot of great things for Braddock.
What's he do? What do he do here?
I don't know who he
He
is.
tries to keep the peace. He engaged with the youth. I think he do a lot of great things.
Yet despite his efforts, the city continues to struggle.
What's the shirt mean?
Got Crip, Community Restoration in Progress. Only on the left side. I like it.
You a Crip?
Of course.
Yeah.
So do y'all know what Crip means?
I didn't know.
You just read it.
I didn't know.
what it is.
Now I'm learning.
I thought it was a gang with like blood.
It is a
Crips.
gang, but
It
this is what the gang really
That
means.
2024 Trump versus Biden. Walk me through. Who are you gonna vote for?
Neither one.
Neither one. Why is that?
Because I don't need to be president. At the end of the day, did Biden help you? Did Trump help you? At the end of the day, if you ain't on top with everybody else,
Yeah.
as a minority,
Yeah.
you still sit the bottom.
The biggest blow to Braddock may be yet to come. Last year, U.S. Steel agreed to sell itself to Japan's Nippon Steel, which promised to invest billions of dollars to modernize and improve U.S. steel plants, like the one in Braddock.
U.S. Steel has agreed to sell the company overseas for nearly $15 billion.
But many people objected to the deal, including Donald Trump and Joe Biden, who both said U.S. Steel needs to remain American. Earlier this month, Kamala Harris said the same.
U.S. Steel should remain American-owned and American-operated.
In response, U.S. Steel has said that without a deal, it will have no choice but to shut American plants and move its headquarters from Pittsburgh. The company says it doesn't have the money. The Steelworkers Union and many politicians say it's being greedy. This is all playing out in Pennsylvania, which has more electoral votes than any other swing state. It's also an issue that directly affects swing voters, including union workers who have shifted from Democrat to Republican since Trump entered the scene in 2015. So who are people going to vote for this year? We went to find out.
Hey, who y'all voting for in 24?
Trump!
Who you voting for in 2024? Biden?
Myself!
Yourself? All right.
Who you voting for 2024?
Nobody.
Nobody. We want to know who people are voting for 2024.
I vote for myself. I need to be the president.
Probably Trump.
Trump? Trump?
I don't know.
Don't know yet?
I don't know.
Our next stop was Philadelphia, where we went to see how Kensington, the city's most notorious neighborhood, planned to vote in this year's election.